Good day, welcome to Multinet Design. In this tutorial, we are going to start a new project entirely, and we are moving away a little bit from residential. Now we want to enter into a little bit of public building, which is commercial. And what we want to do here is we want to design a concert hall. I want to use a concept of one of the greatest architects of modern era. And if you want to see what we want to do, let me just give you a clue about what we are talking about. So now this is the concert that we are talking about. Most of you will have an idea of what this particular building has been. If you are familiar, if you are a student of architecture, sculpture like this, sketch like this, structure like this is something that's unique, that is factual. But one problem that we face that most of us do not know how they get all this form together. So one of the person who designed this thing and bring it to the public is one of the greatest architects of modern era, and this is the man. The work is credited to him, Santiago Calatrava. He's a Spanish architect and structural engineer. He's have a lot of artwork design that make it to become like architect. So education is in Zurich, Delft University Technology, Valencia Polytechnic University. Is age 54, still well alike, so this work belonged to him. But one thing about it is that I just want to use the image, the concept for the development of what tutorial per se, which is fairly used under YouTube activities. So I'm not going to do it because the plan and everything, it does not belong to me. I don't have it. Everything I want to create here is just in my whole imagination that I want to put it so that the structural and the main thing is that student who is coming up bringing will know how to create something like this using the software that is available and the techniques of technology because of what we have passed through when we were developing. So let us start gradually by creating everything. So I'm going back to the Revit architecture or Revit, whatsoever Revit you have for your own use. You can use any kind of Revit, but this is Revit 2024. So I'm going to start a project one after the other. So one of these is the only one that I've done from this one. I have a lot of projects that I've done, but just like opening this one as straight. So you click on the new, and then you choose a discipline template for yourself, which is metrics. I'm going to use multi-templates. So if you have more that you can create, it depends on you. So like most of them that are here, you can use anyone that is like you like to use and make use of it for your own purpose. So but let me just use that one that is available and let us create something excellent for the purpose of what we want to work on. So in the auditorium, something I need to tell you about the auditorium before this one gets to build finished. When you are designing the auditorium has mostly divided into 4 zones. So how do you zone it? Entrance and surface side. So what does entrance and surface side? The entrance of auditorium is very important because that is the way where circulation and expression of people is going to come out before they enter into main place where they're going to work and do whatever they want to do. So in your entrance, you need to make it functional. Functional in the sense that the circulation, the number of people that are going to be meeting at that place, and the surface area, how people are going to be meeting, maybe like shop, like every other boutique area, maybe mini restaurants and business that people can, because when people sit for a while in a hall, they came back outside and go and refresh themselves or something like that. Depends on the kind of program they are doing. One program is longer than actually necessary. Now the second aspect is which is the sitting area, which is one of the area that are more important because this is where even design the auditorium. This is where the performance and everything, the spectator will going to stay and watch every program that's going to be dishing out to them. Now the stage, this one is the act where the performance are. Because of this, people are sitting down. If there is nothing to stage or to be realistic about, nobody will sit down here. So that's why the zone 3 is very much important. And the backstage is where the whole act is going to. That is when we call something a backstage. The activity of which they are going to be presenting here is going to be they're going to do it. So all those need to be put in consideration. Those are the 4 major zones when you are designing auditorium. So let us go back to the Revit when we are going to start the whole project actually. Now, this is the Revit, this is architectural zoning aspects, and this is the disciplinary of 2024. So do not bother yourself or give yourself headache. It's a kind of disciplinary action that it has been used and been tested. And if you have something like this, and if you don't have, you can create your own template and make use of it for the purpose of what you want to use it for. All this thing is being made because it's like a predefined one for everybody to be able to get it done. As we are working and proceeding in this, we are going to say, and if you don't want anyone, we later delete any one of them. If you don't need, if you want to delete them, we don't need them, we delete them, then we create our own. So that is how it works. So nobody is putting us under obligation that we must use this particular template to do whatsoever. So if you don't like this one, you can just come back here and say create new. Under new, just choose this one and come to anyone, maybe residential default, plumbing default, any kind of system that you know that is suitable for you. You just like kick them and make use of them. Like me now, let us just use commercial, like this commercial default of this. So let us just open and say okay. So you're going to see the difference between this interface and this. So you can imagine. So this is the commercial aspect, which is open. So this one is more simplified than that one. So if you have your own template that I use to create my own, you can make use of it. So now in this tutorial, a large project like that needs a large mass area. What do I mean by that? It needs a pretty big extension side, which we are going to work on now. When they were designing this thing, according to what I read, this is done under a large mass. So the area that they were used to do all these things is almost the same size of a stadium. So if you have number of stadiums that you work of this type of, so you can imagine how it's going to be on a large. So what is the total number of what we are going to do? So we are going to define that our area by calculating and work on the whole subjective length and breadth of the area we are going to use. So let us like creating an area personally for this. So what we do first, because our details is going to be taking place mostly on level 1 for the beginner, before we now go to the footing aspect and do whatever we want to do, maybe later on the site plan. But for now, let us concentrate on idea on this. So how do we do that? First thing we need to do is that we want to use Annotate to get our guide area. So Annotate, you click on detail line and you select this. So pick the whole length. So this one is in what? Is in a unit of inches and how will I call it now? Foot and inches. So Revit make it easy. You can decide to change the whole unit by making use of yourself. So how do you do that? Go to visibility view. Under view, just click on the visibility. What is it called? Is it visibility graphics? No. Go to manage. Where is the manage? Go, yes, select manage. Under manage, there you see project units. So on the project unit, this is where you are going to come and change whatever you want to change. So now you come to this place. If you are using area, if you are using angle, so I'm going to use coming from distance and length. I will change them. So I'm going to use millimeter. Let it be. Then the length, millimeter as well. So that is it. And then the volume, I'm going to use cubic millimeter, cubic meter. That is what I'm going to use, or more simpler. Then area, so you select your area. The slope is going to be in degree. Where is it? Click here. It's going to be degree here. So we're going to select degree for the slope. Then the time in seconds, the speed in meter per second. You can decide to change it to meter per kilometer per hour. Depends on meter per seconds. Depends on you. So meter per second, kilometer per hour. Depends on what you want to do. Just let's use that one. Then the regional, I've changed that one. Density, you can change it to the thing that's suitable. Then area, I'm not going to use square foot. I'm going to use square meter. Good. So this is what I'm going to use, and I will say okay. So anything I press now, you're going to see that the dimension is going to change. So let me just click on simple one and see. You can imagine. So it's come back to millimeter. Now, as I was saying, the measurement of this, I want to rearrange this. This is 75 by. So I'm going to use something like 121. I'm going to use something like 200 I done? 200. This is 2000. Sorry, let me use something like 1005. 150,000. Then by 120,000 to press enter. So I think like this, it will be sensible for me to work with. So I will drag all this away from here. So I'll be able to focus on the area in which I want to work on. So as I've done this one, the next thing I need to do is now to get the concepts. Now when you look at the whole image, you see that the concept look like a egg form. So because of from there, you use form to drag. Now you go from form to function. That is what this actually project does. So if you have a beautiful formation like this, you create the form, then you use it to create the function. So the function will come by the time we create the form first. So let us concentrate on that. So on the plan, what I do is that it's still forming concepts from here. So I'm just driving out the concept. I'm going to use ellipse. So from ellipse, I click like this, come to the middle. So the first thing I go here is that I use 55 at this height. 55. Sorry, 55,000. What have I done? Press escape. Choose it again. 55,000 is what I'm supposed to use. 55. So press enter. So now here I'm going to click on let's say 32,000. Press enter. So this is the concept that we are going to use to create whatsoever. So anything we do, this form will reflect whether in the elevation or on the down floor plan. So before we continue, what I need next is that I want to grade the grid. So I'm going to have reference grid for all of them. So I'm setting this one from here. So I'll call this one grid line. Just leave it now. We name the grid line later. So select this one again. So you need to have a reference 3 grid so that the whole work. So you do the next one like this vertical grid. Good. So you select from here. That's exactly the grid that is going to help us to make a good construction of all the work we are doing. So I have done this one now. I'll select this one. Then the next one, which is this particular one, I'm going to do that again. So select this and then we bring it out. So what do I have now? I have 3 grids. Start 6 grid to represent every construction method I want to put in on this side. So I will click and drag them to the top. So you do the same thing here as well. Because the project is a big project, so you hardly see most of those dots except your mouse is too sharp. So for now, this is what I have able to get in touch with. So I've gotten this one done and I've arranged everything in places. So I can now select all this, then select this one as well. So you don't need to zoom accurately so that you're able to select those things. So I'm going to do this again and then again. So my concept is being accurately organized. So the whole area now later when I want to design, when we're about to design our site, then we'll do some activities that we have to form along with this concept. So but for now, this is the concept, this is the shape that is going to define everything I want to create. The plan, every activity that's going to go on here, they're going to follow this shape from beginning to the end. So in the next tutorial, we are going to detail the form and start the plan work for every one of them. So thanks for watching. See you in the next tutorial. God bless you.